All right, third time is a charm. I have removed the puppy from the room, so this should go relatively effortlessly. As you can see, all for black lab fur on my paper. She's quite the handful. Okay, question number 5. We have a quantity with a power raised to it. A couple of different ways you can approach this. One way is I could take this 4/5 and I can distribute it to the 25, to the x, to the y, to the 5, to the x, to the y. That's just a lot of extra simplification. So I kind of like to approach this way first, and I'm going to condense this. I'm going to combine everything that I can first. That way I'm distributing this 4/5 a little bit less. So first thing, look at these big numbers, 25 divided by 5, that is a 5. So now instead of distributing 4/5 to two numbers, I can only distribute it to one, which is just save myself a little bit of time. All right, x to the 7th over x squared. I'm dividing with the same base, so I'm going to subtract these exponents. 7 minus 2 is 5. Remember, you're always writing your answers in the numerator unless it's negative, then you drop it down to the denominator. And then here I have two y's. I'm just going to write this out just so I don't make a silly mistake. I have -4 minus a -14. Minus the negative turns into a plus. That gives me a 10. So I have y to the 10th power. And that whole thing is still raised to the 4/5. So now I can take and distribute this 4/5. I think it's very similar to question number 2. Take and distribute that 4/5 to every term inside of my parentheses here, the 5, the x, and the y. So I get 5 to the 4/5 power. I get x to the, remember, power to a power you multiply. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4. I'm just going to write 20 over 5. I'll simplify here in a couple minutes just in case I'm speaking too quickly. And then I have 10 times 4, which is 40, and that's over 5 as well. We can go back through and we can simplify these numbers, and I want to type this in my calculator to see if this gives me a nice clean answer. So we have 5 to the 4/5 power. It is not a nice number, so I'm just going to leave it as 5 to the 4/5 power. I mean, if you want to get fancy, you can write it as radical. You don't have to. I believe the one on the PM students, it comes out to a nice number. It should. So I'm going to leave it as 5 to the 4/5 power. Sorry that didn't come out cleaner. As you can tell, I'm making these problems up myself. 20 divided by 5 gives me 4, and then 40 divided by 5 gives me 8. So that is my final simplified answer. All right, last question. This one's throwing off a couple of you guys that you have submitted to. So first off, look in your parentheses, see if there's anything that you can combine like we did up here. There's not. There's just a 36 and a j. So I want to go ahead and distribute this to both terms. I get 36 to the -1/2 power, and I get j. 8 times a -1 is a -8. -8 divided by 2 is a -4. All right, first issue that I want to fix is my negative exponents. In order to make both of these exponents positive, I have to drop both terms under my denominator sign. Once I do that, they both become, oops, that's a j, not a y. Now it looks like a g. And then last thing I want to do is I want to see if I can simplify this number. If you type this in your calculator, or you could also rewrite it. Remember, the denominator becomes the index, and I get the square root of 36, which is 6. Final answer is 1/6j to the 4th power. All right, guys, like I said, these 6 questions are very similar to your PM students assignment. As always, make sure you guys email me with any further questions that you guys have. All right, have a great day, guys. See ya.